case in reference to just the media and how, if you look at the civil rights movement, how a lot of African-American celebrities have used their voice, used their talents to make change and social change, political change, just getting, regardless, I don't know what happened between them, but it never should have really gotten to the point where Jay-Z would call Harry Belafonte a boy on record. I mean, regardless, I mean, the amount of things that that gentleman has done for civil rights movement, and again, I stress, it's not about the African-American community, it's about all communities. It's about it's about all Americans. It's about a nation and really just about the world. You know, just equal respect, and every human being have the opportunity to have a pursuit of happiness. Let's check this out.
Mr. Belafonte, you had called out Jay-Z and Beyonce in an interview you did a year ago for what you saw as an insufficient commitment to using their celebrity in the cause of justice. And I wonder if you think Jay-Z, who has a concert scheduled August 16th in Florida, whether he should go ahead and perform that concert.
I would be hard-pressed to tell Mr. Jay-Z what to do with his time and his fortune. I can only be critical of what he is not doing. And I have to also say that this conflict that's emerging was not from me as a direct attack on Jay-Z or Beyonce. I was at a press conference in Switzerland. Questions were raised by the international press. They asked about comparisons between the artists and the engagement, social engagement of the past, based upon a film that we were all watching. And what did I think about the way in which artists responded earlier in my life and how they were responding today. And I made the observation that the highly powerful voice that our community has, Black America has, in that there is so much celebrity power that it was sad to see that the collective of the celebrity power has not been applied to bringing consciousness to the inequities that we face.
That even in the African American community, like someone like Belafonte makes a comment, you get offended by that. Like,
I'm offended by that because, first of all, and this is going to sound arrogant, but my presence is charity, just who I am. I felt like Belafonte, he just went about it wrong, like the way he did it in the media, and then he bigged up like Bruce Springsteen or somebody, and it was like, whoa, you just sent like the wrong message all the way around. You know what I'm saying? You bigged up this, I mean, Bruce Springsteen is a great guy, you know what I mean? Like, you were this civil rights activist, and you just bigged up the white guy against me in the white media.
Actually, in my opinion, I think that Jay-Z does have a responsibility. He's a high-profile celebrity. Everybody knows who he is, along with Beyonce. And there's nothing wrong with having a positive impact, because our generation now is lacking people we can look up to. So in a way, I guess I'm a bit of a traditionalist. I do feel that, these big stars should have some responsibility and watching what they do, how they speak, putting positive view on, African Americans.
Celebrities are, more into themselves. And I feel like, just the littlest things that they can do, because there's a lot going on in the community that, some people are just like, it doesn't affect me, oh wow. But as a celebrity, there's so much you can do, and I feel like they're not using their status as well as they should.
Right.
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
I mean, I completely agree. I don't think that was a bad critique. Only because, I'm part of that young generation age group. I'm 19. So when I go to the parties and stuff with my own age group, and I see a lot of the stupid things they do, they make it deem it like, all right, here's a good example. Like when Drake came out with YOLO, a lot of kids, at least a lot of kids my age, they would use that as an excuse to do really stupid things. And And they really does have a very heavy influence, because these are the kids that walk around with the big Dr. Dre beats, and they hear bumping all this stuff into the ears, so that it has a very big initial effect on them. Like, sometimes I see posts about, Rihanna and Chris Brown, and girls, unfortunately, girls make it seem like it's okay, that they'll still make abrupt comments about Chris Brown, saying, oh, it's alright, he could beat me, I love the guy. Like, that's not good. That's not a good look for the younger generation. That's not a good look.
I always had this kind of beef with a lot of public figures now, where the point of being a public figure is that you have the power to influence so many people. When you have millions of people following your every move, you have to be on top of your game, and you can't just put out any garbage or say any garbage that you think is okay and cool for the moment, because that's always going to come around to bite you later. And I think that there's not enough there aren't enough public figures for that endorse education, for example, or strong relationships. I mean, they live in a totally different world than what we see, and it's just very convoluted, and it's not influencing a young generation in a healthy way. I think there are celebrities that do good, and they have foundations, and they give back in that way, but as far as people, it's hard to determine what they contribute besides their own artistry for films or for music or whatever they do. So
is it a thing that's what the people want, or that's all that accessible?
Yeah, it seems like a lot of times a lot of this stuff is shoved down our throats at the same time, where all you see on MTV are these reality shows and Kardashians, and personally, I don't know what the Kardashians give to society anyway, but it's like, is this, maybe it's what we want because that's all the younger generation is used to now. So they don't know anything different, people that are younger than us. And I think it's a shame. I think that it should be a lot more nutritious for our minds if that were.
I also think that we put too much, emphasis on the celebrities raising our children and raising, the younger generation. It should also be the responsibility of the parents and the family to show them, what's the right way, what's the right path. And I think not enough of that is being done. Not like it was in the past, like, when my parents grew up, you just couldn't do certain things. You just, couldn't get involved in certain things. There were limits. Now kids have more freedom than they ever have, more rights than they've ever had. And they can sort of do anything, and then you have the internet. You have so much more available. So I guess that's the problem.